Hey guys, I'm Mason, and in this video I'm going over my Week 4 NFL game picks. So Thursday night is the Cowboys at the Giants. I'm excited for this one. Should be a good Thursday night game. The Giants didn't look too bad last week. Malik Neighbors had some really good catches, and that offense looked exciting. And the Cowboys have been, well, average Cowboys this season. It seems like they have their moments. Um, but I'm gonna go with the Giants in this one. Just because, like I say, their offense looked really exciting last week, and I think if they can continue to play that way, they can win this game. Final score 20-26, and we started doing fan picks for Thursday night games, and the two people that reacted are going with Dallas. Okay, next game we have the Eagles at the Buccaneers. This one should be another close one. The Buccaneers played awful last week, only put up 7 points to the Broncos 26, which was really surprising. I would have never seen that one coming. And the Eagles played the Saints last week. That was a game that I thought would be a really high score. Eagles ended up winning that one 15-12, which was kind of disappointing, but good job, Eagles. That being said, I think the Eagles will win this one. I think they'll have a much better offensive game. Just after seeing what the Buccaneers did last week, I don't think they can win this game. So I'm going with Philadelphia. Final score 23-16. The Broncos at the Jets. So I mean, the Broncos game last week, I don't know what to take from that. Was it the Broncos playing really good or the Buccaneers really bad? So the Broncos could just be getting things figured out, and they could be a team to watch out for, but I don't really think so. I think it was more so the Buccaneers playing bad. The Jets, on the other hand, have been playing pretty decent. They destroyed the Patriots on Thursday night last week, 24-3. And Aaron Rodgers was playing really good. I think the Jets will win this one. Final score 13-24. The Steelers at the Colts. The Steelers have been interesting this season. They're 3-0, but they don't really, if you watch them, they don't look like a 3-0 team. Okay, their defense is really, really good, but their offense is kind of struggling. They put up 20 points last week against the Chargers, which isn't bad, but it's not great either. The Colts, on the other hand, they ended up beating Chicago 21-16. They didn't look too bad, but they didn't look too great either. I'm going to go with the Steelers in this one just because they have such a good defense this year, and it's just so hard to win games against a defense that good. So I'm going 19-13 Pittsburgh. The Jaguars at the Texans. Jaguars just are not looking good this season. The Texans had a brutal loss to the Vikings 34-7 last week. But I think they'll have a bounce back game here and beat the Jaguars 16-27. I'm really excited for this one. The Vikings at the Packers. The Vikings are looking really good this season, and I've probably said it every week, but I did not expect that when J.J. McCarthy went out with an injury. I didn't think they'd do that great, but they're undefeated and they're looking really good. The Packers aren't looking bad either, and they're in a similar situation. Jordan Love is injured. It sounds like there's a chance he'll be able to play this week, but it's not guaranteed. But even so, Malik Willis is playing really good for Green Bay. That being said, I still like the Vikings in this one. They look like such a good team this year. So I'm going Minnesota 28-23. The Rams at the Bears. I'm excited for this one. Both of these teams are kind of struggling, but as a Bears fan, of course, I'm excited. Caleb Williams didn't look awful last week. He had a lot of passing yards. Finally got a passing touchdown. So it's looking better every week for this offense. And Keenan Allen might be back for this game, so that'll be good. And Cooper Kupp is still out for the Rams, which is a huge loss for Los Angeles. So I'm going to go with Chicago in this one. Final score 17-20. Now we have the Bengals at the Panthers. The Panthers were the big story last week. Well, one of the big stories. They came out and scored 36 points against the Raiders. Ended up winning that game 36-22. That was just crazy. Bryce Young gets benched. Andy Dalton comes out and has a crazy good game. And I think that's going to happen again. The Bengals are really struggling this year, and if the Panthers can play like that again, they're going to be a really tough team to beat this season. So I'm going to Carolina 19-27. Saints-Falcons is the next game. The Saints were really disappointing last week. The first 2 weeks they had scored 90 points of offense. Last week they only scored 12, which I was really sad to see that. The Falcons almost beat the Chiefs last week. 22-17 was the final score of that game. And again, there was a lot of controversy. It seems to be that way with every Chiefs game. But the Falcons played a solid game, and I think they'll end up winning this one, 22-30. Now we have the Patriots at the 49ers. Both of these teams didn't play great last week. The 49ers barely lost to the Rams, 24-27. It was a walk-off field goal. But if I remember correctly, the Rams were quite a ways ahead. Did I say the Rams? I meant the 49ers. Were far ahead for most of the game and just kind of fell off at the end, if I remember correctly. That being said, I think the 49ers will win this game because the Patriots just did not look good at all last week. So I'm going with San Francisco 14-23. This game I'm excited for. The Commanders at the Cardinals. Jaden Daniels played so good last week. He had a perfect passer rating and made some really clutch throws. Arizona, on the other hand, only scored 13 against the Lions. They lost that game 20-13. And I don't know. The Cardinals have been up and down this season. In week 2, they had that really good game, which makes me think this could end up being a close game. Because these are two, in my eyes, kind of under the radar teams that aren't awful. But I think the Commanders are the better team here, especially the way they played last week. So I'm going Washington 31-24. The Chiefs at the Chargers. Chargers haven't been playing awful this season, but only putting up 10 points against the Steelers. I know I've been saying the Steelers defense is really good, but still only 10 points is not great, and that's not going to be nearly enough to beat the Chiefs. I see Kansas City winning this one in a close game, 22-20. The Browns at the Raiders should be a fairly close game. Both of these teams are kind of struggling. I kind of like the Raiders in this one just because they had that big win. Well, in my eyes, it was a big win against the Ravens. The Browns just haven't really had that impressive of a game. They only scored 15 against the Giants and lost that game 15-21 last week. So I'm going with Las Vegas 13-19. This game should be interesting. Bills at the Ravens. The Ravens are just really struggling this year. I really didn't expect them to, but they're not having a great season. So, and Buffalo is not. They're looking really strong. So I'm going with the Bills 30-23. Okay, then there's 2 games on Monday again. The first one is the Titans at the Dolphins. I don't really know what to think on this one because Miami, as far as I know, is still playing Skylar Thompson. And last week against the Seahawks, that team just did not look good at all. They only scored 3 points, and the Seahawks scored 24 to win that game. And that's just not good football. So I kind of think the Titans will win this one. Final score, 20-13. The 2 people who reacted in fan picks disagree with me and think the Dolphins will win. Last game is the Seahawks at the Lions. Really excited for this one. Seahawks are having a really good season. Lions are also having a pretty good season, but I feel like everyone expected a good season from Detroit, but not as much from the Seahawks. And I don't know. I like the Seahawks in this one. I'm not gonna lie. They've impressed me more than Lions have this season. So I'm going Seattle 20-17. And the 3 people that reacted in fan picks for this game all think the Seahawks will win. So let me know in the comments what you think of this video, who you think is gonna win, and if you want to be part of fan picks and just chat with us throughout the week, join our Discord server. There's a link for that in the description, and I'll see you next time on Good Gamers. Thanks for watching.